Hey everyone, this is James with peptilogy.com. I've been getting lots of great questions about peptides, and I thought instead of just explaining it to everyone, I'm just going to show you. Kind of go over a few things here that I can demonstrate, and then everybody be a little more clear about it. One thing that I'll be going over will be reconstitution. A lot of people understand that, and I'll show that. I'll be talking about dosages, how to use the product, handling and storage of the product. And generally just the cost of what it would cost to run these different types of products and all the different types of peptides. So there is roughly a little over 80 peptides. Actually, I think there's more than that, but so it can get pretty confusing for people. So I'm just going to go over 11. 11 is pretty much the top popular ones and the ones that I've seen with actual results. Ones that we're going to offer here at Peptilogy, and quite a few of those 11 I have great knowledge on and have used, so I feel comfortable telling you about it and showing you some things here today. So let's start with the different types of peptides. One of the first ones I'll talk about will be HGH 191AA, pretty much human growth hormone. This one is a great product for recovery as well as hair, nails, and sleep quality. This is one I do use nightly. I take it just before bedtime. So I'm just going to show you some of the different vials that I have here. So this is my vial holder, which I just bought on Amazon, and it's great. Holds your syringes and wipes, and holds your vials, and of course holds them upright, which is what we want. We don't want them tilted on their sides. This is a good little thing if you want to take with you. You can put an ice pack in it. It's a good traveling case. I just put it like that, and I put it in the fridge. And that keeps it nice and cool and keeps it safe so it's not getting banged around. So HGH, that's going to be this one right here. Okay. That one right there, like I say, I use that for recovery. I spend a lot of time in the gym and with sleep. It's worked really good. I don't really care so much about the nails and the hair, but hey, bonus. But that product there, we're going to take 1 IU a night. So I take that 1 IU, which is standard 1 mil, would just be the 10. And that's because I've reconstituted that 2 to 1. And I'll show you reconstitution measurements because that'll make a little more sense. But 1 IU is what I take nightly for that. You can go up to 4 pretty safely. It's getting a little high. Generally, we say 1, 2, and that's about really where you're going to go unless you're getting into bodybuilding or something serious like that. We're not worried about that, though, today. Clo has become a very popular one. That's KLOW. It's a blend. Some people do not prefer the blends. They would rather just use each, like, say, 4 peptides is what it would be, not these 4. I'm just giving you an example. And they just inject all 4. They would say it's a little more stronger, better, but it's a little easier if you just get, say, a blend with with all 4. So that's what Clo is. Clo is BPC 157, TB 500, KPV, GHK, CU. And pretty much what this is well, it's got the Wolverine stack, the BPC 157, the TB 500. So it's going to be awesome for recovery of muscles and tears and stuff like that. KPV, kind of immune system type thing. And then you got your GHK, which is going to be your collagen, so good for skin. So pretty much it's going to fix your muscles, give you good skin, kind of just help with repair and recovery. So it's a good one. It's very popular. You see it used quite a bit. Some people don't like the blends. They'd rather just do those 4 individual, and then they could change the ratio. But it's just easier that way. It's a little bit pricier, this one. Because it is 4, it does come in a bigger bottle. It's an 80 milligram, whereas, for example, it's not so much bigger bottle, but more product in the bottle. I should be clear about that. And that would be, say, here's 10 milligrams. So it would be more product in a bottle. In that case, it would be a bigger bottle in the Clo. Clo, one of the side effects of that one is it's a spicy shot. What I mean by spicy, it does leave irritations, like a little red welt. Not huge, but you feel it. You know that it's gone into you, and it's a little annoying for a few minutes after. I find it doesn't last too long. There's another one called Motzi we'll go over in a second here. That one's the same thing. I call it a spicy shot. And it leaves a bit of an irritation. Just, it is what it is. Next peptide, which is becoming pretty popular, is melatonin 2. And this one's used for like tanning of the skin. If you want to darken your skin, you're going to be getting out into the beach and you want to really get a good dark tan. People like to use this product. Don't have a lot of experience personally using this product, as I don't really care for darker skin. I don't care for tan looks. I've got sunburn right now. I don't quite enjoy it. So if that's your thing, you like the tan muscle look or whatever, just the tan beach look, it's a great product. The only thing with this one is if you have like moles, it's gonna kind of really stick them out. They kind of really look funny. So freckles, anything like that, it's gonna really enhance that look, and they really stick out. So it's something to think about. But you know, a lot of people use it, and it does really work. You would use that one pretty small, only 100 mcg per day until you got your desired darkness that you're looking for. And like I said, it can get pretty dark. So microdose, some people do bigger if they want to rush it, but that's kind of the goal, is 100 mcg per day until you got what you want. Next peptide, again, I'm going to try and go through these a little quicker. PT141. This one's a libido peptide. Think of it as kind of like liquid Viagra. This is going to last anywhere from 6 to 12 hours. That's going to make the males work real well there. And it can work as quick as 30 minutes, and between that 30 to 60 minutes, you could kind of expect it to work. So that's something to think about, but it does last, like I say, 6 to 12 hours, so make sure you plan ahead on that one. This one doesn't work just on males, so it has actually been proven to be, they say, more effective for females, so something to think about. Apparently this works really well with females. Some have reported that it does absolutely nothing, but the general consensus is that it does work upwards of 3 times better on a female. Something to think about. It's interesting. Another one, retatrutide, the king, Reta. Okay, that one everybody kind of knows in the peptide world. That's the big weight loss one. Is the GLP-3. This one here is going to really help with appetite. It's not as strong as some of the GLP-1s on just appetite, but it also works with insulin sensitivity, like regulating it. We'll get those up and downs, as well as really good metabolic fat burn in here. This is why people use this. It's going to help you really kick off that weight. It will control your appetite, especially little cravings. It really helps with the cravings part. Big difference, as well as, like I say, this one's kind of the king, because whether you're trying to lose 200 pounds or 10 pounds, whether you're fit or you're really out of shape, this one's going to be really good at kind of bringing you down a little healthier and kind of keeping that muscle mass and not looking like a bag of skin like some of these other GLPs. So that's why this one has gained so much traction, as well as if you look at the Lilly Group, the phase 3 trials, or any of the actual internet stories here, it's pretty high rate here of people losing some pretty good weight and looking pretty good at the end of it. I mean, I've had great results myself here over 2.5 months here, and it's working really good, even though I'm now at the point where I'm not losing weight. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm actually trying to go the other way. It's just helping me kind of crave or kind of kick the cravings and help me stay clean eating while eating more food and lifting and getting bigger. So you can use it multiple ways, whether you were going to be a fit person trying to go to the gym, or just say a sedentary lifestyle and you just want to kind of stay out of the kitchen there and lose the weight at a good healthy pace. It's going to work for you. It's an awesome product. BPC 157. This is my second favorite one. This is awesome for injuries of some sort. I have to be very careful here with my terminology. I'm going to kind of start with that now. I tell you what I use on me. I have to make this very clear that these are not FDA approved medications. So I have to tell you that this is not for human consumption, and I can't recommend that you guys use this on yourself. I'm just telling you what I use on myself, and I'm telling you not to use it on yourself, that this has to be lab tested. So if you were going to use this on your mouse, BPC 157, for your testing purposes, This would be great for muscle repair, okay? So if your mouse pulled, say, a muscle, it would be great. For example, I will tell you my personal story. Like I said, this is for me, what I used. I had done shoulder shrugs and pulled a muscle in the back, and it was to the point where I couldn't move my neck. I was pretty upset about that, and then I remembered, hold on, I have BPC. Let's see if this is all hype or is it real? Let's see. Anyways, 3-4 days of that, and I was already starting to feel pretty good. By day 7, I finished it out. I did it for a week. You can run it pretty much 2 weeks or whenever the pain pretty much is completely gone. But I ran it for a week, and like I say, after day 4, I pretty much was healed up. Ran it for another 3 days, and it's actually really good. And then I actually pulled a different muscle and had a little bit of a injury up in the shoulder here. And again, a few days of that, and again, not even being smart, not even taking the rest time I was back in the gym being stupid with it. But that is just a microdose. It doesn't take very much. So 1 bottle of that will last you probably quite a while, and it's a good thing just to have on hand if you're going to have some injuries, or if you're coming off of surgery. BPC 157, and then you would want to pair that with TB 500. Just speeds up. I mean, it's just incredible what this stuff does. So something to think about if you're got tennis elbow. Perfect. I mean, your mouse might have tennis elbow. You ask, well, how do you get that? So as you see here, this is chip clip, dollar store. All of our shots are going to be sub-Q into the fat. We're not going very deep, just little insulin syringes. And with the BP57, it's just going to be a 0.3 mil. It's going to be a small needle, very tiny, very small dose. 250 mcg would be more than enough. You know, people say, well, how are you going to do it? Well, you want to do it closest to your pain. So if your mouse pulled his, got the old tennis elbow here, that damn mouse, there, we got enough fat there, just enough skin. That's all you need. I just come in on an angle, just a little shot, 1 second, you wouldn't even feel it. Your mouse would be perfectly fine, and you've done it by yourself, or your mouse has done it by himself, and you're good to go. So that works really well. I mean, again, you want to use that wherever the mouse is having its pain, okay? You can use it generally anywhere, and it is supposed to spread, but it's been proven to work better spot wherever the problem is. MOTC is a really popular one now. It's taken off. I have just started that one. That is a real good mitochondriac energy. Like, it's supposed to be for endurance. So again, if you're sedentary, I don't know if I'd say this is worth the money or the time. But say you're going to do sports, you do a lot of training or a lot of physical work, this would be used 3 days a week is kind of the regimen. We're doing 5 milligrams 3 times a week, so it is a bit of a bigger dose. So you generally would do want to buy a bigger bottle to last you. And again, we're not going to be running this for a super long period here. We're just putting this in for a short period anyway. But again, this product, I don't have a ton of experience to use them personally. I've just started this product. I'm in week 2, and I've already noticed a bit of a pick-me-up, but again, I go to the gym. I haven't really seen huge gains yet, but they say it takes 3 weeks to fully get into the system and fully working, so I will keep people updated on my Facebook page on how it's coming along. Now, to run this product efficiently, you are to run SS31 first. So SS31 is this one right here. And this is supposed to kind of repair any of your mitochondriac system there that might be kind of not firing properly. So they say to run this first, kind of get your body prepared and fixed, because this MOTC, which I have, MOTC, works on your mitochondria. So by getting it kind of set up with the SS31, this is supposed to actually work efficiently. Again, 3 weeks kind of get in the system, get working 3 times a week. And yeah, it's been reported, lots of good gains up there. People are happy with the product. Again, I'll keep you updated on that. At this point, we're pretty early in the stage. I can't say huge gains yet. Next one going on, Peptide. This one I personally love. A lot of people don't know about it, even in the peptide world. This one's usually stacked with retatrutide, and the reason we use this with Reta is Retta is absolutely king of weight loss, but it's slightly less than some of the other GLPs like your Ozempics and all that, and tirzepatides and Mounjaro and all that for appetite. So it works really well, and it does kick down that appetite quite a bit in cravings. But if you're a crazy eater like myself, the reason you get up to 400 at some time, you need a little help. And so what I do, instead of going crazy high dosages on Retta, because I don't believe that you need crazy high dosages, those mice don't need that. 4 days after you take your shot of our low dose, let's say 2, maybe upwards of 5 milligrams, that's a lot, but let's say 2. That's kind of where I like it to be for our mice, per week, just 1 shot. 4 days later, we then just take our keg, just call it keg, take a small, and we're going to microdose 125 mcg. It's like nothing. We're using a smaller needle. It's just the slightest little bit. And you put that in 4 days after. You start with that dose. You will eventually go up a little bit. You go up to 250 mcg, you double it, which again, is nothing. And the reason is it's super powerful for appetite suppressant. You do have to be careful with this stuff. If you were to go too high with this one will cause you to be nausea, like you'll be sick to your stomach. So that's partially the reason people don't like it, is some people don't know how to use it. They don't reconstitute it properly, and they dose too high, and they don't even know that they're dosing too high. A lot of them, unfortunately, there's just not enough information why I'm creating the video here. So you gotta be careful with that one. But if you know how to use it and you use it right, you don't need to be blasting big numbers in Retta. This is kind of a cheat code, and people are starting to finally figure that out. But yeah, it's my cheat code, and there's quite a few people who do know of it. Tirzepatide, which is in the Canadian version, you go to your doctor. This is FDA approved, and it is in the US. I think they call it Tirzepatide down there. I don't think they call it anything else. But Mounjaro, that you've probably heard of that here in Canada. Yeah, we have Tirzepatide, which is peptide. You don't have to go to the doctor, and it's safe. It's great. It's extremely effective. People lose weight on it quite often. It's got a higher appetite suppressant than retatrutide. It doesn't have fat burning effect to it. It's just not quite as good. But again, if you're just trying to shut down the appetite, your kind of sedentary lifestyle, this might be the way to go. Does very well. Now, why do we not like that one as much as, say, Retta? Because it's high dose. I see people that you almost have to start at 2.5, which is you've already started higher than Retta, near the top. And then you got to get up to 15, like 15.0 mg. That is a lot. And then they burn it out. They burn out. I see it all the time. I talk with people all over the world. They get to 15, and then they can't lose any weight. They're blasting through it. It's costing them money. So it does work for a while. You're going to lose that first few pounds. The bigger you are, you're going to lose it pretty quick too. But again, you know, have some skin there. You lose it too quick with that, especially with sedentary lifestyle. So don't really care for it. And then when people come from that medication to Retta and they've gone that high 15, it's hard to get them happy, because they come over to Retta and they don't have that appetite suppression. They have the fat burn effect. But that's why we would pull in that kegrilitide, especially with somebody that came over. That's how we'd fix that problem. So if somebody's coming over high dose from Tirzep, I have to start them pretty much at 2 on Retta, and they'd probably go right up to 5, and then from there they would probably have to be supplemented with kegrilitide to keep them happy and keep them actually losing weight, because that's what we want. We want them to lose weight, right? So it's a good product. Just something to think about coming over. I do like that product for people who are more sedentary. I just got to stay low and maybe use the keg with it. Okay, cost. Let's go over some cost on some of these. So generally, your needles don't need a lot. You can get away with 2 packs to get you. Like, if you're just using retatrutide, you're only going to use 1 shot a week. So that's 4 needles a month. So 1 bag is like $5-6. There you go. You got probably 2 months. So cheap. Wipes. Alcohol wipes. We'll go over why you need those. Dirt cheap. Okay. This is a bacteriostatic water, backwater, we'll just call it, okay? This is Hospira. We only use Hospira. It's a medical grade, like same stuff you're gonna get in your hospital, okay? I don't use anything but it, and there's reasons for that we'll go into in a minute here. This is cheap. It's 15 bucks for me. It's a little harder to get, but I get it. Okay, we only use the good stuff because we don't want to waste our product here, okay? So backwater is only required probably your first purchase. It's going to last you a while. It's going to reconstitute, I don't know how many of these, okay? Like a lot, okay? Because there's something like, what, 30 mils in here? 30 mils, and you're going to put 1 mil per one of these roughly. So, you know, you could do 30 of these bottles. So you're probably only going to buy one of these. I'd say once every 3 months. You can get 3 months out of it. I know people are going to say 28 days, but it's 3 months. After 3 months for the $15, just toss it. Probably lasted 6 months. You could go 6, 7, but it doesn't matter. That's 3 months is what I say. Wiping all the time. Keeping in a dry, dark spot. It'll be perfectly fine. Okay, so that's your initial purchase, 15 bucks. Probably 3 months, we know, unless you're blasting through this stuff. Okay, now your vials, peptide. Depending on where you go and who you get it from, anywhere kind of looking around the $50 to $70-ish, right? Depending on the product. Is it tested? Is it backed? Is it safe? You know, the better the product, probably more testing, the quality, and it's going to be probably closer to 70. So to get started, Peptide is probably your first one that's going to last you on minimal dose. 1 month is going to be right around $100. Okay, $100. Then going forward, that should last you on minimum dose. That's going to last you probably closer to 7 or 8 weeks, and then you tirate up, or sorry, increase up to 2-ish, and then that would last you like, well, there's 10 milligrams, so 2 would last you 5 weeks, right? So not going to go through it. It's not a real expensive thing. That's what I think people are worried about. You could bank on $100 initial, $70 is kind of roughly, and then if you start up in your dose, generally never going to go over the $100 unless you're getting carried away. You don't need to. So that's something to budget for. Some of these other ones are actually a bit cheaper, like the BPC 157. You know, same thing. You're gonna, if you don't have this initial purchase, you already got it. It works for all these. They're all the same. The backwater, we gotta reconstitute, which we'll get into here in a minute. So depending if you need it, it'd be 15 bucks. Some wipes, some needles. These with a BPC 157 uses the smaller needle because we're just microdosing. It's so tiny that we just want the 0.3. And when I say smaller, needle length is still the same, which is like nothing anyway. It's only 8 mil, okay? So it's 8 mil, that's the length. It's only a 31 gauge, this one, so it's super tiny, and I'm gonna feel it going into you. 3/10, that's just the amount of liquid that goes in. So we microdosing, like I said, 125, and the reason we want that is we can bring it down. If you were trying to get 125 in the bigger one, you know, just too much. It's just, you could barely pull it back, it would be over. So smaller needle for that, nice and easy. Again, doesn't really change the actual needle going into, it's just the liquid volume here because we're not putting much in. Again, BPC, really cheap. The one that gets a little more expensive would be your Mont C, only because the bottle itself is probably cheaper than other ones. It's around the $50, $60 mark, somewhere in there. It all depends who you're getting it from, why. Is because we're using a lot. You know, you're doing 5 milligrams 3 times a week. So that bottle that I have is 10 milligrams. So you're going to use that bottle in 2 weeks. So something to think about. You're not going to run that though. Probably very long. You know, it's something if you got some training coming up. You know, you're going to the gym, you got some planning, you're just trying to cut a certain amount of weight, or you got some training or some work projects or something. You know, you're not going to run it all the time. SS31. You use in 1 milligram a day, so you'd only get 10 days out of a bottle. But remember, we're only using that for 14 days anyway. So, you know, you buy 2 bottles and you're done with it anyway. So again, not very expensive bottles. You're looking at $50, $60 mark on those bottles. So again, not very expensive. The SS31, that's good to fix your mitochondria. HGH can be a little bit pricey. Bottles are cheap. They're in that $50, $60 range, but we're using 1 IU day. That bottle holds 10, so that's only good for 10 days. So something to think about. it's an investment, and depends how much recovery and sleep and what you want to do. So retatrutide is kind of best bang for the buck. BPC 157, same thing, you're not going to use it. Keglilintide, the one I keep telling you about, is kind of the secret weapon. It's a little more money. You're looking at probably $80 to $90 for that bottle. But it's 10 milligrams, and we're only using 125 mcgs. So we're just microdoses. That bottle's going to last. I mean, every rule of thumb, once they go in the fridge, is 28 days is what everybody's going to tell you. But as long as we're wiping them, and we're keeping them in our cases, we're keeping them cool, we're cleaning them, we're checking them, we're rolling them, we're looking for clarity. You know, they're not hazy, not floating, and we're being very clean. But you'll get a lot longer. I know guys that are running these 6-7 months, same purity, same, no problems. Okay, you know. But if you're worried, I would say 3 months is a real safe number. But honestly, you go longer. That 28 days is based on medical, where they are puncturing, taking multiple doses out throughout the day, multiple times. Okay, they're just keep puncturing. Every time you puncture it, it's become less sterile. Okay, so that's the problem. We're worried about bacteria getting in there. So that 28 days comes from that concept. Retatrutide, once a week, you puncture it. Okay, and we're wiping before. Okay, so the 28 days has already been debunked very clearly. Again, that's a medical field thing. Different. Storage. Once you go from this salt looking, okay, this is how it comes, okay, to reconstituted liquid, okay, it's liquid now, it's clear, looks like water. These have to go in the fridge, okay. Once they're reconstituted, they don't look like the salt anymore, okay. I'm going to be putting these back pretty quickly here, okay. They got to go back in the fridge. So fridge, bacteriostatic water or backwater. This will go, even though we punctured it. We'll put it back in our cupboard, dry, dark, room temperature, okay? We don't like to put this in the fridge. A lot of people will say put it in the fridge. Go ahead, but there is the chance of condensation, which we don't want in there. So it's actually safer and better. You will see a lot of medical stuff from what I'm being told, and I have people in the medical staff, that it doesn't need to go in the fridge, okay? But you do you, and do your own research, okay? But I'm telling you, lots of people, that's the way it goes. So, fridge, once it's reconstituted, we keep it in there. We want it upright, so it's kind of good to have a case like this. You can stand it up, just make sure that it's not in the door of the fridge getting smacked around, because you never shake your vial. Never shake your vial. Standing up. Again, if you have a case like this, we kind of want to keep it out of sunlight or like light, so when you open the door of the fridge, so don't put it at the back of the fridge or in drawers where it's going to freeze. If it freezes, it's not per se ruined. You would have to bring it out and thaw it out, but again, really don't want to do that, so think about that. I put mine at the top, near the front, and I keep it in the case. It's good, okay, which we're going to be putting back here pretty quick here. Now that we've gone through this product, I've kind of shown you that it's clear like water, and we'll be going over kind of the reconstitution here. I'll show you on that product right there. Gone over cost, we've gone over some dosage, kind of just gauges. I mean, once you purchase this product for your lab testing purposes, you'd be given instructions, and of course I'm always available. You would actually have a protocol dosing, and again, always low and slow. And the rule of thumb is, if it's working, you're losing weight on, say, retatrutide or any one of them, Peptide, we don't go up. Goal is always to stay low. So if it's working, you never move up. The only time we move up is when it's not working. And again, we have other options there too, like I said, with the keg and stuff like that. So low and slow, you gotta start. You can't rush it up, especially with the GLPs, because it can cause stomach bad feelings like nausea. You can get sulfur burps with retatrutide, okay? Again, you have to kind of jump up too quick usually to get that, but you could be throwing up if you get too high of a dose too quick, or if you don't understand your reconstitution. A lot of people I speak with, they just don't understand, and maybe don't put enough product. What they think they're pulling 10 units, but maybe they're pulling like 20, 30. Just didn't do the proper product. Okay, so when we say units, it really depends. More likely than not, they would probably put too much in, and then it'd be less of a dosage. So maybe the product's not working. That's another thing that's a possibility too, because they think they're pulling 10 units or 20 units, and they're really not, because they've added too much backwater and they've watered the product down. So that's another thing too. It's a real mixture. Again, like I said too, going back to the backwater, why I use the Hospira Pfizer, it's very important, is I see a lot of people buy off of Amazon or off of vendors that use cheap China backwater, and it's failing. And it fails, it ruins your vial, okay? This would be no good. This would be cloudy, there'll be clumps, or it gels up, okay? And once you get that, just throw it in the garbage, okay? It's no good. It's guys will try and recover it with AA and screw around with it, and it's putting it in your body. Don't do it, okay? So 99% of the people I talk to have used non-Hospira backwater, okay? I'm part of that train, and I just see it fail all these other ones, and you see it in testing. So everybody I talked to, when they failed, they didn't use this. So we use that, okay? pH is why. The pH is right on this one. Those Amazon ones, there's only one brand, which I'll share with you if you want. It's the only one that passes the pH test, and that one I would recommend actually, but I just try and keep people off there because it's too easy to buy the wrong one. So something to think about. When it ships, looks like that hard salt, okay? Reason for that is just for shipping purposes, so, and for lasting a long time. That will stay good for a long time. Okay, many months. Some say maybe a year or two. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Lasts a long time. You can put it in the freezer. Some people do, or you can keep it in a dark room temp. Again, if you're going through the product enough, which I am, you don't have to worry about that. You just keep it in a dark, cool spot where it's safe. Okay. When you're ready to use it, you pop off the cap. Okay. This doesn't go back on. This is now garbage. Okay. This is 10 milligrams Mont C. Okay. A lot of them are 10 milligrams. Okay. Most of them are going to be 10 milligrams. All depends. So, biggest thing is we're going to reconstitute it. We're going to turn it into a liquid so it's usable. Okay. So, when you get this product from any peptide company, it will come like this, okay? So it's up to you to figure this out. So it's very easy. Many videos. Once you do it once, it's walk in the park. So taking our top, cleaning it really good, okay? Back here, cleaning where we're going to puncture it really good, okay? 10 milligrams, which again, the instructions would explain that you need 100 units, which is 1 full milliliter of backwater, okay? So I'm pulling out about 50, 60, doesn't really matter. I'm going to create some back pressure so it helps load up the syringe. Right in the middle, puncture, push the air in. Now it's going to kind of help pull it back for me. So now I'm pulling down to the whole needle's worth, 1 mil. There we go. I'm going to wait for it to load up. There it is. It's loaded up. Just a little past the 1 mil. I'll pull out. Just a hair. Now this is backwater, so waste a little backwater. It's not a big deal. Flick it to get the bubbles to the top. Okay, we got it out. We're right at the 1. It's perfect. Okay. Now when I put it in, because there's a bit of pressure there, I'm taking this, I'm holding it like a pencil. I'm putting pressure against here so it doesn't take off, because this will want to shoot the product down. So now this has been wiped, it's clean, okay? I know it's good. I'm coming in and I don't want to shoot that backwater right on the product. When I come in at a 45, and I'm holding this so it doesn't take off, okay? So coming in 45, boom, I'm in. Now if I let go of this finger, it automatically starts shooting it. So I just let it go super slow so it doesn't just go, you know, squirt gun right onto the product here, okay? Now, the biggest tester that everybody uses debunked kind of how that works. Apparently you can actually hit the product, it doesn't ruin it, but we're not, it's just not do that, you know. It's so easy just to let it go slowly. And I got it on a bit of an angle, so it just kind of runs down the side of the bottle. And it's all doing this. I'm not pushing. I'm actually having to hold my finger, dragging it across to stop it from just taking off. I'm not putting much pressure, okay? There we go. It's all in. Pull out. Over here, gone. Now, it's not clear. It's in there. It's kind of half mixed. So I take it. And I'm just going to roll it nice and slow here. And this can take upwards of a minute or two, but generally it's 10 to 45 seconds, maybe a minute. I might set it down and let it think for a second there and pick it back up and roll it again until it's crystal clear. We wouldn't dare use this until it was fully mixed and crystal clear. And again, like I said, we're using good water, so we're going to check and make sure that it's clear, it's not foggy, there's no haziness, there's no particles floating around. And like I say, it's just patience. We don't shake the vial. Whatever you do, do not shake it. Again, that same testing gentleman has kind of debunked that a little bit. It's not so delicate as we think it is or say it is, but again, that's not tested. It's a product we're putting into our body. Okay, so it's already pretty clear, as you can tell. But if I look on the bottom, sometimes you can see it looks like little salt rocks, but it's not. It's actually pretty clear. This one's pretty much ready to go. The heat of your hands kind of helps, I believe. And again, just light rolling. So I hold it up to light. That's clear. That's good to go. Okay. There you go. That's Mont C 10 mil. And it's been reconstituted. Again, very simple. Once you do it once. First time you're always a little nervous. But again, the important thing is we're just wiping, keeping it clean. And now this has got to go in the fridge, okay? So we put that in the fridge. Now, if you wanted to use the product right now, you totally could use the product now and then put it in the fridge. It's good to go. And then you can take it out. When you take it out, it doesn't have to be room temp, okay? Just put it in your hand. We're just giving it a... I warm it up. So while I'm drinking my coffee, I'll just do this for 30 seconds to a minute. Just I kind of like to get it a little warmer, get it mixed up more than anything, but it's fine. Pull it out of the fridge. So that would go in the fridge now. That's good to go, okay? So that's reconstitution. A lot of people are scared of it. Super simple. But again, our measurements, so 10 mil, I did 1 mil. So now if I was to take, so I tell you, okay, you need to take 5.0 mg. Okay, so now because 10 for 1 mil, that would be 5.0 right there. Okay. Now, where people make the mistake is some people will add, like I said, generally not. It's not under the backwater. They're doing too much. They might put two of these in. Okay, you haven't ruined the product. You've just got to use more of it. So instead of, so say if I did 2 needles worth, some people maybe put too much in, they put 2 needles. Okay, if I needed 5, I would actually then need, of course, 10, right? It would double as they put too much backwater. So it happens sometimes. And I just say to people, okay, well, now you've just diluted the product, so now you just got to double it. If you've diluted it by 2 times, you just got to use twice as much, right? So not the end of the world, okay? Just this is why asking and learning, if you have somebody who's selling you for lab testing, gives you kind of a rough idea what you're doing, you won't have that problem. Okay, so that's kind of reconstitution at its finest. Of course, big thing is we want to put our caps on without stabbing ourselves, and always into a sharps container, which you can get free from pharmacies. Okay, don't throw this in your garbage. Simple. I'm showing you the clips for lab testing for hitting certain spots. Okay, that's a little cheat code from the dollar store. Simple, easy. You got cost, got an idea. Okay, needles. Okay, where do you inject? Okay, right, all these are injections, right? Some are once a week, which are like Reddit. Okay, you don't need to do it. It's good for 7 days. Okay, that's what it's meant for. Some people will break it up and do it every 3 days or whatever, 3 and 4. Okay, the science says it's not good. It's not right. But hey, it works for some people. You do you. Okay, it's meant to be done 7 days. Okay, so simple though. Look at that. Nothing to it. I think this one was a 30 gauge, okay? So it's a little bit bigger, but you can get it in 31. Doesn't matter, okay? Where are we injecting? Well, other than the BPC 157, you know, like that's where the pain is for your mouse, right? Okay. These ones, you know, wherever you got some fat to you. So generally 98% of the time, most people like right near the belly button, okay? The stomach, doesn't matter which side, okay? Look how small that is. You're not going to feel that, okay? Trust me. I was afraid of needles, and I'm telling you right now, just done, okay? What I do is, okay, again, just like the same thing. Let's just pretend it was on the arm, okay? You can do it in your underarm, like some people do, okay? Just need the smallest bit of skin and fat, okay? I'm just going to give you an example of how that would work, okay? Look at that. Just a little bit of skin there. I'm just giving you an example. Some people like to do it under the arm. I would never do that, but hey, that's you. Okay, I'm just giving you an idea. All you'd have to do is just hit that little skin, okay? In there and get it done. Simple. But again, belly button's kind of anywhere in here. You can't screw it up. The biggest thing is that we're just wiping where we're going to do, okay? So if I was going to do the arm, I got to wipe that area really good, okay? Wiping it good. Wiping it really good. Grab that, you know, your fat. Trust me, you're going to have a little bit, especially if you're sitting there. I don't care who you are. Now, if you were Ryan Reynolds, you had a six-pack and you could barely just get a little bit, you might want to come down on a little bit of an angle. But 98% of us can have some fat. You can go in any which way. You're not hitting anything, I promise you. Okay? It's real simple. You don't have to worry. You know, I've been asked, do you got to hit veins or anything like that? Or do you need to? No, this isn't heroin or anything like that. Okay? You're not going to. Wherever, you're just, like I said, your stomach. You can do your buttocks. A lot of people like to. I actually switch that up for a few of these ones because, you know, as you've seen in my kit, I'm trying a lot of these for you guys and myself, okay? Playing with them, so I do quite a few injections, right? Okay, so you don't want to, I switch this side, I switch over to here, which I just reach around, grab my butt, and I go like this. Okay, simple, okay? Rule of thumb, kind of right here, but again, you can't really screw it up. You got fat, you're not hitting anything with, this is sub-Q, you're not going deep, it's not intermuscular, okay? I'm not hitting anything, I promise you. It's fat muscle, so this side, are glutes, okay? Underarms, some people like that. Not for me. Again, mostly the stomach, okay? Never had any problems. Like I said, Mott C and Clo, they're spicy, okay? It sucks. It's not the needle that sucks. It's when you pull it out, leaves a little red welt for like 2 minutes. It kind of really sucks. I just rub it a little bit, okay? It goes away. That's why I do the Mott C back here, because I don't want it in my stomach bothering me. I just do it back here, and it's like, whatever. It's gone. Doesn't hurt. It's not the end of the world. Retta, all those other ones, I've never had any. You don't even know they're there. You don't even notice it. Okay, same with the BPC. So that's how you do it again. And like I said, if you're doing like KEG or the BC, it's needle length again is our 8 mil. So it looks tiny, but it's still, there's real no difference. Again, you're not going to feel it. Just tiny little needles anyway. For people that are really worried of needles, I have brought in like the diabetic click pens, okay? Those seem to, it's similar size needle, but for some reason people seem to worry about the dosage because it's a click thing and they think it's easier or they feel safer about it. So if that's something you're really afraid of, I have the click diabetic needles coming to me and they will, so you would just take this vial. It would have its own vial. We would transfer all this into one of the other vials that loads into that pen, because this will not load into the pens. That's one thing that kind of sucks about it, but it is what it is. It's just the way it's got to be. So you'd load it into a sterile vial that's meant for the pen. They would go into the pen, and then you would just click, say you needed 2 milligrams for your Retta, for your mouse. You click that, and then you test on your mouse, okay? So something to think about. Some people like that. I have that option. It's coming, because I know there are people that are worried about needles. I'm not a big fan of them, but again, everybody that has tested on their mouse so far has come back and said the mouse didn't mind. So you get used to it. It's worth the results. So hopefully I've answered enough questions here for you. I'm sure there'll be more things that we need to watch for. Okay. Blood pressure. Okay. Now, are you saying this is going to rise? No. In fact, actually, retatrutide it's gonna bring it down. Okay, I promise you. I've seen the blood work. I've seen the results. It's brought it down for me. Okay, I test it daily. That's why you have this machine. Okay, but we need to test it anyway. Okay, we're putting new stuff in us, and we have to check it. Okay, so our mouse, but we want to check ourselves too. So check it. We're checking for rest and heart rate. Retatrutide has been known to put your rest and heartbeat, which a lot of the time on our newer smartphones, you can put your finger on the back of your camera, and it's got the heart rate thing, and that actually works pretty good. It can tell, okay? Really, where we're seeing that rest and heart rate go up is when guys get into higher dosages, like over the 8 to 12 area, especially when they get up to that 12, which is insane to me, but that's when things start, because remember, retatrutide revs your body up a little. Not that you feel it, but inside it's revving your internal system up, okay, your metabolic. So you start throwing bigger dosage, well, yeah, it's putting a little bit of strain on there. So again, that's why we want to watch things, and we also want to keep our, like I said, rule of thumb, lowest dose possible while effectively losing weight, okay? So that's something to remember. Blood pressure, we're just testing, we're checking our heartbeat, rest and heart rate, and do blood work. I just going for mine now. Well, I just booked on Friday, okay, and I was talking with my doctor all about these peptides. We had an awesome conversation, and I think I sold him on retatrutide, which is hilarious, because as soon as I brought up the Lilly group, and he typed it right in, and it was pretty funny. And he's like, they're going to approve that. And I said, well, I don't know. We'll see. My peptide guys say Big Pharma is going to stop that. The conspiracy theory. Anyways, not going down a rabbit hole there, but yeah, who knows? He liked that idea. Once I said it was in the Lilly group, I somehow, that's what sold him. But anyways, blood work. Do your blood work. Okay, it's worth it. Okay, and of course, start low and do your own research. Okay, there's lots of groups out there. There's lots of videos, and it's becoming more and more mainstream. But you just can't take information from one person, okay? You really got to get out there and you got to ask. I talk with people around the world, and I ask and I talk with people who fail, didn't like this product, and I ask why, what happened, why did they get sick, okay? What was their dose and where did they get it? I want to find the root cause, and generally 99% of the time it was either, well, it was pretty much misdosed, okay? It was too high. They thought that they could run like 3, or the product maybe where they were getting it from wasn't tested. So yeah, there's a lot to it, okay? You just got to be careful of this stuff. It's new, and of course it's kind of not FDA approved, so there are some people that are giving advice out that maybe aren't doing the proper research or don't have the proper knowledge or not doing it. I'll be very honest with you, what I used and what I know and what I didn't use, okay? So just be careful where you get your information from, and we're always learning here. We're definitely still pretty new at this, okay, this peptide. So right now we're just checking as many studies as we can get out there and communicate with each other, okay? And it's important just to be honest. So anyways, hopefully you learned some stuff here today, and again, if you have more questions about this, just reach out to me, and hopefully I can answer them for you. Thank you. See you on the next one.